No, like Nas.
I like Nas, but
I like UK Drill.
UK Drill. That's what I listen to.
Last year. Like last year was a really huge.
I mean, since 2020, it's been like.
Do you like RD?
I just sent it.
I don't listen to RD, but.
Do you know RD?
I've not heard of RD, but the podcast is rolling.
Oh, we're live?
We're live.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry,
season 3 is live. I mean, episode 3 is live. Season 5. Welcome back. CeleTake podcast. It's me, Eric, your host. Next to me, we got your co-host always and league owner, also the captain of the Dogs, Mike Scalco.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Let's go.
And then joining us, well, first,
7th ranked team. Just so we're clear. I'm the second worst team.
Second worst. But if you're joining us for the first time, this is a podcast where we talk anything and everything Celi Nation. And to help us do that, we always have people joining us. Today we have one person.
On time.
Always we have another person who's going to run in late.
Because it's his birthday, so he's allowed to run a little bit.
We're getting turned. Celebrating.
Yeah. Celebrating.
You know, dinner's more important than the CeleTake podcast, apparently.
You don't need to eat to survive.
No.
All you need is a beer. Beer and Zins is all you need.
We're not sponsored by either one.
Nope.
But on our left, we got the Big Bird.
What's happening?
He's going from a winless season to being undefeated next season. How's it feel?
Brick by brick, hour by hour, we're gonna get the ship. I'm gonna wear something on my hand. It's gonna be a ring. I'm gonna kiss it like that. I'm gonna look at it.
I love the confidence. All right, let's start with a recap of week 2. Very exciting games. The intensity is still high in Celi Nation. We're going to start off with the first game, which was Which game was it?
He's not a professional, people. We don't pay him to do this. Makos versus Ghost Riders.
Makos versus the Ghost Riders. I'm trying to find them.
We commentated that game.
We did commentate that game.
Yes, you did.
That was a great game.
Were you high? You were a little bit more quiet.
No, it's just
you were calm.
No, dude, listen. When you're on the mic, I'm not just gonna be like talking because you're the owner and you know the most and you know the people. So I'm just gonna let you do your thing, and if I agree, I'll say something.
I wanted you to riff. I think you're a funny guy. That's why I put you on there.
Fair enough, but like
next time, talk more. That's
okay, fair enough. I just hate those guys who just talk too much on the radio or like you're watching TV and you're just trying to watch the game.
I talk a lot during it. I'm normally just saying random facts about the 5 seasons, but like, feel free to join in with funny commentary. You saw? You didn't watch the game, but Vaughn and Steve the Kid did the last game, and they did a phenomenal job. They did a very good job.
Amazing job.
Yeah, they did a very good job. So just
brick.
have fun with it. And so did Tone and Braylon. Honestly, all the commentary this week was very good. But next week we got Josh back, and whoever he's paired with, they're gonna do a great job too. It's been a good season.
We missed you, Josh. We missed you.
We did. Hopefully you're feeling better, Josh.
But week 2, we had the Makos versus the Ghost Riders. Makos stayed undefeated, winning 69-64. Youssef finished with 20 points. Also, Kyle Arts finished with 13. But for the Ghost Riders, in a losing effort, you had Trayvon finishing with 28 points, and then Vaughn with 16 and 8 assists. What'd you guys see since you guys were commentating that game? Kyle, what'd you get for me?
Well, I loved how the Ghost Riders started out that game. It was more team fundamental basketball. I mean, they were just kicking the ball around and actually playing through their offense. Like Vaughn wasn't that selfish. He'll drive in. If he sees he gets double teamed, then he'll kick it back out and then just reset the offense. But if you see a shot that he put it up, and his team having confidence in that goes a long way. So in the beginning, the first half, me and Mike were talking, like they looked very strong. I loved how the Ghost Riders came out. It's just one of those things when you go on a slump at the second half and things are not hitting your way, calls are not going away, you might get a little frustrated, and that's what we saw in the last 3 to 4 minutes. But overall, I think the Ghost Riders are still a very strong team. That's what I saw in the first half, at least.
What about you, Mike?
I agree. I think that what we saw was, and we made these observations throughout the game as well. First half was phenomenal, as you said. Ball movement was really good. The key thing that we saw, and Kyle commented on it during halftime, I don't know if I edited it out or not, but Makos sat there and they game planned at half. They all huddled together, they all got together, they game planned, they were down by 15, 17 at that point. The Ghost Riders were not in a huddle at all, dunking, having fun. And my commentary was that I feel like that's actually good for them with a guy like Vaughn, not really structured. He's more so a guy that's just out there hooping, and they were out there hooping, just passing the ball and not really thinking about their game. It didn't seem like. It seemed like it was effortless. But the adjustments that the Makos made and the Ghost Riders didn't clearly made a difference. And you see what happened there at the end of the game. They crumbled. And I'm happy to see that, looking at the score now, it's 69-64. So even without the two Steve the Kid inbounds, they still would have won by 1. I was upset on the broadcast. I know you had left at that point. But Steve the Kid on two different, Uno on two different occasions inbounded the ball before they were set. And the Makos were very fortunate to score 2 layups off of that. So as refs, we got to do better, but I'm happy to see that it did not affect the impact of that game.
Shout out Luke, honestly.
Yeah, shout
Halftime
out
was
Luke.
huge.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that was the game changer when he pulled his team, and you can all tell like they were super focused. They were coming up with a game plan to be like, all right, we were down like, how much were they down? Like 16?
I think that most it was 17.
The most 17, and from them to come back and just block all the emotions out of things and just be like, listen guys, what are we good at? What can we do to stop them? And how we're going to do it? That is what you want from a captain.
Yeah.
But I understand what you were saying. If they're up by 17 and they're having fun, and we also play in we play in a league where it is the most important thing is to have fun and enjoy with your teammates and your captain. Then I was not mad about Ghost's decision. He's like, hell, my team's up by 17. Let's go have some fun. Vaughn, go try to dunk, do your shit. Like, let's fucking have it. Like, I'm fine with that too. But I did like how Luke took initiative and be like, listen, guys, what's working, what's not, and let's get back to it and get back on track. And shout out Yusuf in the second half because I really liked how he played in the second half. I think he's hated on, but you gotta love him sometimes.
Yeah,
I
you
think
gotta
in the
love
second half, I loved Yusuf.
In our comment sections here, we have Yusuf for MVP 2 times in a row between Kyson and Sway. But then Kyson makes a very good point that I forgot to bring up as well. When Vaughn got hurt is when the game did change. When Vaughn got his knee taken out by Yusuf, they lost their biggest threat. And that is when the momentum swung in the favor of the Makos. And they got back-to-back wide open threes. And Kyle Art started hitting shots. The ball started swinging a little bit more. And I believe Yusuf hit a 3 as well. So very good point, Kyson. That is a huge momentum swinger.
Yeah.
They need Vaughn on that team. Vaughn is imperative for that team to succeed. He's probably playing some of the most minutes in the league early in the season. He doesn't really come off the court right now, and rightfully so. He's playing very good basketball for them.
Yo, Vaughn, what do you do with your endurance, man? Because I go on the court for like 2 minutes and I'm gassed.
He's not fucking chewing this shit, man.
Dude, I stopped vaping and I was like, all right, I'm like 4 weeks clean. I'm gonna be a freaking bull. Like they're gonna tie my nuts. I'm gonna ready to go. I'm there. But then all of a sudden, I'm 2 minutes in. I'm looking at Dean. I'm like, dude, get me out of here. Like I'm gone.
I need you on my team so I can sub you out.
Dude, I was
great.
Dude, and then Dean told me to start breathing through my nose, and I'm like, oh, it kind of works, but I'm still. I need to get on what Vaughn's on, so he's gonna tell me.
Well, it's crack energy. He's got that natural Yusuf in him. Those two, they just have ADHD or whatever they have. They have something where they have this innate natural energy, and some people you just can't teach that.
I have natural energy.
But for Trayvon,
You
though,
just don't have natural cardio.
no, I don't.
Trayvon, I believe week 1 he dropped like 18 points. This one he dropped 28. Do you think he's after these 2 games he's like officially one of like the top 3 like scorers dudes in the league? Would you say that?
No,
put him up
I think
there? It was
what we
too
called during the commentary was actually we didn't. We said it's a high scoring game, and I believe it was Tone that says next to us who's doing the score. They're just not playing defense, and it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad defense on both sides, which allowed both teams to score a lot of points and at a high clip. When you give, Sway says Brisky had 5 threes. QDZ almost had a double-double, 12 points, 7 rebounds.
Big Q.
You gotta. The offense was flowing on both sides. The defense, there were some plays, but it was not as often as the good plays on offense. So we'll see. We'll see when they go against the Reapers or a Dogs or
Like a defensive
Goblin.
team.
I feel like our conference is more defensive. Even La Familia, actually, in the Orange Conference is pretty defensive with John Kerry and Mike Parker. Mike Parker, shout out
Parker
him.
going
Talk
crazy.
about that later, but 9 steals is fucking
Selling
insane.
record.
Dude, can you imagine if you had 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 steals?
Yeah, triple-double with steals would have been
Quadruple
crazy.
double.
Can you imagine if he got
Yeah,
10 assists?
quadruple
Oh
double.
my god.
That would be crazy. But regardless, the defense, and I said this in the captain's chat, I feel like the defense has gotten better,
Yeah.
just not in that game. I feel like that game was pretty lackluster defense. There was a high scoring, and it was a fun game to watch.
I feel like the defense got better perimeter wise. I don't think we've gotten better like
In the paint?
In the paint.
I don't know. I think the opposite in this game. There was like 4 blocks in a row with Vaughn and Trayvon.
But what would I do say about the Makos is, we were talking about this in the second half, is, you know, you have
Pat
two...
should be here any minute.
Yeah. You have two people who drive. You have Yusuf, and then you have 1v1 God, right? And their natural talent to drive to the hoop causes the defense to cave in, right? When you have that, and then you have like shot doctors, you have Kyle, you have freaking X, and you have those people on the wings. Kick it back out to them. I mean, like, if you get Kyle hot, bro, that man can shoot the ball, and so can X. And it's imperative, and I think this goes for all teams. When you have shooters on your team, if they only touch the ball 6 or 7 times a game, how you expect them to get hot? You have to get them in the rhythm. You saw that with Mitch in scrimmage. Hit what, like 4 threes? 3 threes, right? You have to get them hot because that's their game. They have to feel comfortable with their shot. And if the Makos can do that and find the balance between driving and kicking, that's a deadly team because they're big. They can get offensive boards and defensive boards. And they have shooters.
Another thing they got going for them is that 1v1 isn't playing like how I know 1v1 can playing with them last season.
We all know, we all saw
He'll turn up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, he will. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
So
it's a long season. There's 8 more games.
Yeah.
We're a fifth of the way through.
He's like Paul George.
Yeah.
Like Paul George won't play the first half of the NBA season.
Whoa, take it easy now. Take it easy.
Or Jimmy Butler, at least. He's playoff Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler, there you go.
Yeah, he's playoff Jimmy.
All right, let's go to the second game. The Panthers versus the Goblins. The Panthers taking their first L of their.
Not on screen. It's a graphic right now. Sorry. You can do it again.
But yeah, you want to go ahead and flex? Go ahead and flex.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and flex.
You're too tall for the camera.
All I want to say is, put respect on our name.
We're gonna spin the block. We'll be there again.
Respect on our name. I know where you were staying at. I could have pushed up. But I wanted to be a man and look you dead in the eye and say, put respect on my name.
Tell Juan to respect Dom.
But yeah, the Goblins winning
Juan, where are you at?
71 to 57.
Whoa, Juan, you talking all that shit. You're not even leading your team in points. Brandon Seed off the bench has more points than you. That's crazy, Juan. March 10th.
I think Brandon Steed had a career high. I think 20 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds.
Crazy.
For the Panthers, you got Dom with 21 points, 2 assists, and then Fritz with 9 points. Unbiased. What did you see, Mike? Would you think the Panthers could have did better? Because they did blow a 12-point lead.
I don't know. I mean, Fritz didn't really play very well, in my opinion. I don't think that you guys moved the ball as well as you did in the first half. I think you got stagnant. Dom tried to copy the Dogs' offense, but you guys didn't run it. We don't run it either. So we're talking Dogs season 4. Not Dog Season 5 because we're dog shit right now. So I'm talking Dog Season 4. He tried to take that offense. It's not working for you guys. It's not working for us. But you guys stopped the ball movement. You stopped getting good shots. And Dom's initial energy that he had, Braylon and Tone brought it up in the podcast too. He started off with so much energy trying to prove the respect factor to Juan after Juan made some comments off air. And I think that in the second half, Dom fell short. And you needed Dom, if nobody else was going to hit shots, you needed Dom to really step up and be that guy.
I was also confused, because, I don't play a lot, but...
You do a lot of watching?
Do a lot of watching. Hey, I know my role. I'm the Dennis Rodman. I know my role. Like, anyways, there was a time where there was both Dom and Fritz on the bench. And I think as a captain for you, it's if you're going to spread those minutes out, you're going to need... I feel like I saw Dom, especially at the end, was on the bench for a little bit too much. Yeah. I think you need to... If Dom's not in, Fritz has to be in. Yeah. If Fritz is not in, Dom has to be in. You have to have at least one of your key scorers to be out there to A, either score or B, control the pace of the game.
I think that they have more than just 2 though.
Yeah, no.
You have Dallas, you have Gene, you have you have Ish. In my opinion,
right?
At the way that it's going, and it's a very early season, and we've seen it otherwise. I don't think Fritz is the second best scorer on that team right now. Hot take. I don't think he's the second best scorer on that team. I think Dallas or Gene, and Gene is just getting started. I think once he gets a couple more games on him, I think those 2 right now at this very moment are better at scoring than Fritz. I like Fritz's energy on defense. I like the fact that he's grabbing boards and finding, but his shots are not falling. I'm saying this, and he's going to hit 50 points on us next week because
I
that's
know.
just how this shit goes. But I'm saying as an unbiased broadcaster, and it keeps coming back to bite me in the ass, but I'm trying to be honest with my feedback. At this point in the season, you have other options. Dallas is playing well. Gene played well. He finally, scored some points, put some points on the board. I think they have other options. They don't necessarily need one of those on the court.
That wasn't a shot at any of them. Listen, I'm all love, baby, over here. But from what I saw, and I have it's week 2. You're making assumptions on who can be the scorer, who cannot. Like it's early, but what I saw from last season, when I saw what Frisk can do, I saw what
that's why I drafted him.
Yeah, that's what I saw from my experience from last year. So
it's a different team, though.
It is.
If you look at the Makos last year, it was Nacho Fritz. That was it. D Smooth was their third option, and his biggest worry was setting the best screen in the league. They didn't have a third option. Ethan was their third best scorer. You look at this team; they've got so many options on offense. So he's in a different role than he's used to, and I think it's going to take some weeks for you guys to really figure that out. Of what can Fritz do to be successful, and where can he fit there? And is he going to be a guy that's only averaging 10 points per game this season, but locking up one of the better players, grabbing some boards, using his length in other ways? And I think that he can be a valuable asset, regardless of if he puts points on the board or not.
Who's that white boy on your team?
Who, Dallas?
Dude, that guy's I fuck with his game.
I love his energy.
I love his energy
on
game.
defense.
I like how he drives.
He's not really doing as much as he should be doing on offense, but on defense, his energy's there.
I love his game. We won a scrimmage. I saw him. I'm like, dude, that guy's a baller.
He's a baller, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He's very solid. Some of the comments here, we got Dean Coach of the Year. Juan is here. He likes that I'm roasting him. He enjoys it. Goblin
Juan's here
this week. Yeah, he's here. I know he was in there last week saying March 10th, so I just want to shout him out. Sauce said he wants to live his life like you, Kyle.
Sauce. Don't get lost in the sauce, man. Don't get lost in the sauce, man.
Zane says, B-Steed, 6 Man of the Year. Tyson said, y'all are truly lucky.
We're just going to give the Goblins all the
foul.
awards. We're just giving the Goblins all the awards.
Yeah, it's like season 2 when the Baby Blue Lions swiped the table. Next game will be pretty good, says Juan. Mike with some bars. Didn't test the ball most of the second half, and my team is there. What are you trying to say, Juan? Are you trying to say that Brandon C didn't pass the ball? Are you trying to say that your teammates are not moving the ball enough? Sauce said Dallas has slept off
drama
for real.
over there?
Juan can't wait, brother. Hot take, Dallas needs more touches, says Dallas himself. Juan, love my team for real. And Goblins with the better than everybody emoji.
I will say, coming from a team that lost every single game, even the scrimmage, like every single game.
Yeah.
You guys sucked.
Yeah, we sucked. I will say, our team is like, we were down by what, like 10 in the beginning.
In the beginning, you guys went down by like 12.
By 12, right? And what our team is, like, what we found is, like, no one bitches or complains, right? No one goes in, and no one's a bad apple, right? Mm-hmm. We all call a timeout, we regroup, and no one's shit-talking anyone, no one's throwing attitude, no one's doing any of that and being, like, a cancer to the team, right? We all believe in each other. When we played the Dogs, when we were down by, like, 8, even down by 8 with, like, 2 minutes left, we still thought that we could win that game. And I think that goes a lot to Dean, because Dean gets in and he pumps us up. He's like, dude, we're not losing this fucking game. Like, we're going to win this game. And I think that's very imperative when you have, like, not even your captain, but you have the whole team just being like, let's do this. And that's what we have right now. We have that momentum where we can trust each other. Brandon coming off the bench, like, even sometimes I was watching and I'm like, oh, don't shoot that shot. But then he shot it and he made it. And that's, like, something like having trust in your teammates, right? Yeah. If I'm trusting you to pass you the ball, trust me to also pass me the ball. It's all that trust.
You're getting love in the chat. You're sexy, according to Dallas.
Dude. Gotta get the Cheon jersey, but you know it's cold over here at Mike's house, baby.
Stop gassing him up in the chat,
You
please.
made great points, and Dogs, I want you guys to listen to that. That's the reason why we were successful last year. You have to buy in. And I said, after you guys won the game, stupid plays by us aside, you guys deserved the win because you guys were a better team. We're better individuals. I'll take us on paper over any team any day of the week.
That's cap.
We are not a team. This facts. It's fact. We have a very talented team. The fact of the matter is we're not a team, and you guys were, and you guys are. And I said that last week. You guys fell apart this week, but the teams that are teams Go to the gray door.
Is he watching a live? Tell him, watch a live.
Go to gray.
You know how to get in. You already got in here.
It's a black door, by the way. It's not gray.
Whatever, man.
It's not
I
a black
gray,
door.
I
It's a
say
gray door.
gray / black.
He's
gray door.
got shades on.
No, you're colorblind. That shit was black as fuck. I walked in. I'm like, this is not. Dude, there's one gray door you can get in, and it's a key card.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that door is gray.
Boogie says the way the Goblins started the season reminds me of us Red Rangers last season.
Stop it, Boogie.
That's a hot take right there because we saw how that worked out. So hopefully none of your players get kicked off for hitting Sway in the mouth.
No, but like I said, it's very comforting having a team where it's like they like we're all on one, right? And it's nice because not coming from that, like we last year, I'm telling you, like after the game we lost, bitching, complaining, sitting there, blaming this, blaming that. Even I did it. I was a part of it too. But when you have all these people being a part of it, surround yourself what you want to be, right? If you're surrounded by a bunch of bad people, you're going to end up being a bad person. Surround yourself with good people, surround yourself with a good team, you're going to be a good team. And I think that's just the moral of the story here is if you think you can win as a team, even if you lose, you guys still go in the right direction and think as a team.
It's the best advice you guys will hear all day from Big Bird Kyle King. This man, he knows what he's talking about.
I do. Not really, but let's go.
With this, he did. With this. With other things, probably not. But with this right there, that's very valid and very smart.
You asked me to write an essay? Shit, man. You gonna get an F. Even I broke grammar.
But if you ask him to put a parlay slip together,
you know what I'm talking about, baby. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out, baby.
My girlfriend said it's a gray door, Kyle.
See, gray door.
It is gray. You have sunglasses on. Anybody that's been to my place, Sway, you were here last week. It's a gray door.
It's a gray door.
It's not a gray door. I'm taking a picture. I'm taking a picture. I'm posting.
Let's get the game 3. Game 3, we had the Reapers versus the Dogs. The upset of the week. The upset of the week. Josue dropping 25 points, 8 rebounds, followed with Sterling Shakespeare with 12 points. For the Dogs, you got Kenny Chef. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Kenyatta. I apologize if I said it wrong. With 17 points, and then you got AJ with 12 and 8 rebounds. Kyle, do you think the Dogs are
fraudulent?
Yeah.
I think it's too early to.
You think it's too early? Is that Pat?
Are you fucking kidding me? We're in the middle of a stream.
Alright, to be fair, I did tell him to call you. I didn't know that was your I didn't know it's your phone, man. There's like 3 phones here.
Yeah, these are all my phones. What do you think? I spend money on the league. What do you mean?
So did it just stop?
I don't know. I'm not on that camera. I'm on this camera.
Let's
Tell
find out.
Pat to go fuck himself. How is he not here by now? It's 9:10.
Patty.
Alright, you go, and I'll.
Yeah, let's hear your opinion, Eric.
Yeah, where you at?
I think so. I think
Yeah, third, fourth, Studio 2. It's all
this
the way
next
down.
game is definitely going to be a major key to figuring out that answer. If you guys fall into like 0-3, I think it's going to be a little difficult because with the conference is the last bottom team in each conference not making the playoffs. Those 3 games, those first 3 conference games is really important.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were to lose all 3 of them, you're really banking on those other 3 teams for the rest of the season struggling with the non-conference teams, and then when they come back to playing you guys are hoping to tie the series. And I think the chances is going to be like 30%.
What, from them to
For them, yeah, for them to like make the playoffs. Right now, I think.
If we lose the game, or in general, right now.
Generally, right now, I would say 30%.
30%
if you lose,
for us.
If you lose to make the playoffs.
If we lose to make the playoffs, you do realize there's 7 more games.
I know there's 7
so we
more
can go
games.
7-3.
You can.
And mathematically, not every team in our conference can do the same.
We're going
But-
7-3.
No, we're going 8-2.
8-2.
You're going 7-3.
Pat, it's his
We're going
birthday.
7-3.
Happy birthday, Pat.
Happy
You made it.
birthday, Pat.
You made it. There you go. There's a drink for you, my friend.
Thank
Shout
you,
out
guys.
Kyle
One
Lawrence.
for you. But yeah, I think you guys aren't. It might be a little difficult for you guys to make the playoffs, especially if you lose next Sunday.
Who are we playing next Sunday?
Panthers.
Oh,
See?
the pit.
He hasn't even watched
pitiful
film yet.
Panthers. The sad Panthers.
But what do you think, Kyle?
About the performance on.
Not the Dogs. Do you think they can climb out of this?
I mean, I think it's if, like you said, Mike, if you're playing 5 out and there's no one inside, like I said with the Makos, if you have AJ who's going to drive the ball in and he collects 3 people in, you got to kick it out. You got to get people in it.
You're preaching to the fucking choir, my friend.
Yeah,
Dude, me and
Kyle.
Mitch, if you saw our group chat, we're saying the same shit.
Dude, you gotta
Thanks
kick
for
it
the
out.
observation.
There's no point. There's no point to shoot up a shot with 3 people around you. Like you're not MJ, you're not LeBron. AJ, you're a very good player.
It's not just AJ.
It's not just AJ. It's who? Name me the other guy.
Chef and
Kenny Chef.
Chef, dude, I love his
Yep,
play,
Chef.
bro. He's so swifty. If I ever had a guard Chef, I promise you 90% of the times he's breaking my ankles to the hole. Like I'll fall down.
I'm doing that too. Breaking
No, you
ankles.
ain't. That's stop the cap. But you lost.
Stop the
buddy.
cap.
By double digits. By double digits.
All right.
And he can count.
And I can count 1, 2, 3, 4.
Double digits.
You're gonna lose 2 games or more. Oh, that's a rhyme right there. MC King over here, baby. So.
Who let Bird out of the house?
Who let him out
Put
the
him
cage?
back in his bird
Who let him
bird
out the
cage.
cage?
No, but anyways,
But-
dogs. I think to go to win back to back to back, that is not based on the talent of your team. That's based on buying in and what you have planned for your team.
Yeah.
So you just gotta. When someone has 3 chips, you just trust what your captain's saying because he's been there before, and they're gonna get through it. Right? It's like. The best way I can say it is like you look at the Warriors, you look at the Chiefs, right? They can have a okay regular season, but when it comes playoff time, they've been there before and they know how to do that and they trust themselves in doing that. Same thing with you. You've been there before, so you know what you need to do. You guys just need to buy in
Yeah.
and give my Pat more touches, man.
He got
That's a
touches
shooter.
last week.
You did.
got
You gotta make
Yeah.
them shots. You gotta make your shots, Pat.
I'm shooting 0 for 4 at the 3, but on my layup percentage is 100%.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You got
No, it's
blocked.
not. You got blocked. You started
That wasn't
crying
a
for
layup.
fouls.
That was not a layup.
It was not a layup. It
Well,
was a
he was, but
putback.
anyway.
I just want my first win. That's all I'm
Yes,
looking
yes.
for.
Pat is still looking for his first win. He even joined the Dogs.
The
He didn't have a
dogs.
choice. He got drafted by me. You know, there's no guarantees.
But for the Reapers, though, Josue is out here balling 25 points. I think he's averaging.
Are we going to
almost
mention
like 23.
22 fouls? Are we going to mention 30 free
yes,
throws?
he
Are we
shot
gonna-
16 free throws.
Are we gonna mention
I was a
any of
ref
that?
that game. I think I was only maybe four free throws.
Are we going to mention
I
all
gave
the
him
bad
4 free
refing?
throws.
Are we going to mention how biased it was? Are we going to mention the charge call against Gary? Are we going to mention the 5-second rule, even though it wasn't a rule?
Yeah, that was 5
Are we going to
seconds.
mention
That was
wasn't
a 5
a
seconds.
rule?
That was a live
But it-
dribbling.
No,
It's-
but
it's
he's
still
not.
not 5 seconds.
But it's
It's
not,
dribbling
it's not
the
a
ball.
rule that we made.
Aren't you
Okay,
aren't you the person that preaches don't bitch at the refs?
Aren't I the person?
what?
These
that
refs
keeps
were
everything
swayed
fair?
one way,
I-
and it
The
was
Reapers,
obvious.
the
as day.
Reapers won because they had more heart than you guys at
I'm
the
not
end of the day.
blaming them.
I'm blaming.
I'm not saying that the Reapers don't deserve the win.
I am coming
I'm not
out to
saying that
say
even at all.
Ghost made the worst call in
I don't think
Selly
so.
Nation
No,
history.
I don't think so.
You
That
got-
charge call?
Oh, the charge call? Oh,
That was bad.
The charge call was fucking horrendous. But the fact of the matter is this: in the ref chat, this is our 5th season. We've never once called a 5-second rule. In the ref chat, this was brought up, and we said, should we start calling this? There was no vote. There was no any decision made, and there was definitely not anything said to the players. For 45 seconds to be left in a very close game, and that's the first time you want to call it, that's a fucked up call and would only happen to us. And then, after that, the fact that the scoreboard is incorrect, and people are saying the game should be ended and they should get the W, when if roles are reversed, that would never happen for us. And if we were cheated out of 2 points, not we, me. I'm going to say me because it's my team and it's against me, it's not against my dogs. If I was up 2 points and the score sheet did not match the scoreboard, y'all would have said, we have to run overtime. And it happened last season, and it will happen every fucking season if the roles are reversed.
Not just-
All I'm asking is fair treatment, because it's 2 weeks in a row now where it's been some sketchy shit, and 22 to 7 fouls is not fair treatment. 30 free throws to 10 free throws
No,
is not fair treatment.
You're right, but you
I'm
also,
not blaming the refs for the loss.
I know, but you have to go into it. You specifically, and your team is always going to have a target on their back because you're back to back to back. So you guys should already know that people want to beat you guys. That's just like
Well,
I
not
know it's
people. It's the league.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
Josue
the
tied the
nation.
game and 50 people storm the court, I take notice because I edit the games. So I see the energy and I see you guys don't want
that
to
Euro step. He went all the way to London and hit that Euro step. That was a clean Euro step.
That's awesome. And if I would have hit the same thing, you guys would have been fuck on the sideline. And that's
Dude.
facts. I get
I'm your
it.
cheerleader in the sideline. You hear me? I'm like, yeah, Mike. I have pom poms and everything, man.
I'm just speaking to the generalization of the fact that I don't care about the fans and the people in the league. I get you're tired of seeing the same people win. I'm talking about the refs.
Okay.
I'm talking about fair
Fair.
treatment for our guys. I don't think 30 free throws to 10 free throws is
It
warranted.
wasn't just this week, it was last week too. The ball was clearly out of bounds on the Goblins.
Oh well.
And the referees, one of them, maybe one or two of them said that our ball, and they went with the crowd.
Well, that's the thing, too, that we have to discuss as refs, and we discussed this in the ref chat. If you don't know a call, get together. Don't listen to the crowd. All three of the refs get together to make a call.
That's what they do in the NBA.
That's
Yeah.
what they do anywhere.
Yeah,
I know we don't
honestly.
have instant replay yet, or things could be overturned, but like, make a call based on each other instead of hearing other people or hearing the players, because the players are lying, just like all of us at this table would do, and probably most of you guys would do. You would lie, but the quick inbounds, 2 times it happened to us, 5 points. 1 time we had that, and we took away the points. You got to put it into perspective of just treating us the same way you're treating everybody else. If you beat us, I accept it. The Reapers beat us. The Goblins beat us. I'm cool with it. I'll take the L to them. I'm not going to take the L to the refs because the refs want to cheat. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair, but I honestly, in the last 2 weeks with the Reapers, getting trashed on their name and saying that they're not going to score more than 60, and then for them to come out and play
score less than 60.
and score less than 60, and then for
With
them to-
overtime.
with overtime, and for them to come out, and play like they did. I mean, I gotta give props to the Reapers. I loved watching them play. That game was a very, very defensive game, and you could tell everyone out there was playing with their hearts on their sleeves, and I respect that. You have Nick, who's literally
8 offensive rebounds.
8 inches smaller than me,
Yeah.
and I'm not even getting 8 offensive rebounds. And for him to get up there, that shows heart. To
It's no discredit to the Reapers. None of my beef is with the Reapers. Congratulations to the Reapers. I'm fine with the fact that they beat us. At the end of the game, they closed out and they played a better end of the game. That I have no beef with that. They beat us, and I'm not taking away the fact that they beat us and we lost that game. I'm just saying for future games, I want fair treatment.
Fair.
That's it.
Fair.
That's my only point.
Show the dog some love.
I don't want love. I want fair treatment. I spent thousands of hours to fucking put this thing into fruition. I just don't want to be bullshitted out of wins.
Yeah,
That's all that I'm saying. I get you don't want us to win. My girlfriend says the same. She doesn't want us to win either.
But do you think the refs played a really big role in you guys losing? Or
Yes.
was it you
You're
guys?
not refing any of our games anymore. That's 2 in a row.
It's not even that. It's a matter of, listen, Chef dribbled into 3. Okay, AJ first took a step back 3, airballed it. Terrible shot. Chef dribbled into 3 people, offensive foul and sauce. Those 2 mistakes were our mistakes. Outside of that, the other calls at the end of the game were made by the refs. They were bad calls. That's all it is. When AJ's going down and getting slapped and not getting a call, and then the other end, the same thing is happening to Sway and he's going to the line, that's where we need to work on it. And I think changing one of the refs at halftime, you can't be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be
No,
doing that.
also-
Braylon called the game one way in the first half, and it
Right.
was fine. It was more even, honestly, when Braylon was there. And then Vaughn came in, and he called it entirely different. And now they're going to a different ref where we were going that side earlier. It's like, those things can't happen.
Hot take, and if we had the resources to do this, I don't think there should be a ref in the next game if they played the game before. I don't because I think that's biased, because let's say you lose a game, right? You're mad you just lost a game. You're
Yeah.
tired you just lost a game.
Especially if a dude that was ref in your game that you just lost is playing in the next game that you're about to ref.
Yeah, I don't think that, because let's say you play the game and then you lose and then you have to ref the next game. 1, you're biased because you're angry. 2, you're tired, so you're not gonna be sharp on your calls.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be an organized way to get refs where they don't play the game before.
But
Can I
it's not-
respond to these comments real quick?
Yeah.
Ghost Riders got robbed too, but never made it this big of a deal.
Oh.
You also did not get robbed when we look back at the score, and you didn't get robbed 2 weeks in a row on calls that you made, Ghost, directly, that were never discussed. You got robbed on Steve the Kid inbounding the ball, which we've talked about and we tried to work on. You called something that we've never called in league history. I don't know who AZ Boy is,
There's a
but
first time
I'm
for
assuming
everything,
it's Noah because I don't know who else would say AIDSy boy and think that's cool. But the nerve to say that if roles were reversed, it would have been a different outcome. The only reason the game went to OT for no reason is because the owner decided to play for fun, even after a loss. If you listen to the broadcast, which I took out the 5 minutes of the broadcasters making fun of me and saying these things, initially when they go to the booth, right, Nielsen walks up and says the score is 46-44, right? Granted, the score does not change in the second half. The score was correct in the second half. The errors were made in the first half.
You gonna drink that?
I am. I took a drink.
I just want to make sure you.
Can you?
He goes
let Mike
up.
talk?
He goes up 46-44. Dom counts it 46-44. He counts it again 45-44. If you listen to the broadcast, as soon as overtime starts, I cut out all the bullshit. That's why it starts right on an inbound. You hear Dom in the background say, "You know what? It could have been 44-44." So why am I ending the game if we don't know the fucking score? You play the game out.
It was shit. It was shit time. It was shit management. Just that way, nothing on you guys, nothing on the Reapers.
Let's just talk about how
it was just something that needs to work on better, and we learn it as a.
Well, let's talk
stepping
about the
stool for
scoreboard
new
in
things.
general. The scoreboard shut off at one point, and they started the time before we inbounded the ball, which I don't know about you, but the time doesn't start till the ball touches the hands of the offensive player.
Yeah, that's
The buzzer goes off as Mike is shooting a long shot,
I
and then it's
told-
a halftime.
I told Mike, I was like, if that had went in, I would have
Yes.
counted it.
It would have counted, but you know the difficulty of a shot while the buzzer's going off is much harder.
You really?
Facts, there was an issue, but regardless, I didn't even bring that up.
You missed a shot though, like,
I did miss a shot, but the buzzer went
If you
off
hadn't
as I
made it.
touched the ball.
but that doesn't affect your shot. Come on,
Whatever you want to say. I didn't even
on
bring that
those.
up. I didn't bring that
No, you
up.
brought it.
I brought it.
I didn't bring, and rightfully so. You
Yes.
can, because once again, if it happens,
I'm
to
a
the
dog,
opposite
too.
team, it's an issue.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And I'm
It seems
tired
like,
of
it
being
seems like
cheated
two
out.
dogs are on one side, and the people who aren't biased are on
the other side. Yeah.
Because you're not seeing it because you've never been on my team, and and the people that are on my team in the past have seen it. I just watched back the two championships, season 2 and season 3.
Season 2, baby.
And I listened to the broadcast. The broadcasters, including my brother, including the commissioner, these unbiased parties are all saying that they want us to lose. So when the refs are doing the same and you hear the refs during a game cheering for the other team, obviously it's going to draw some suspicion.
Fair enough.
Like you got to...
That's fair.
I'm able to feel some type of
Fair.
way
Yeah, fair.
if you're cheering for another team while you're reffing my game.
Yeah. No, I get that.
That's all I'm saying, bro. I want fair treatment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I didn't put in the time and effort to put the league together, sure.
Right.
I want respect. I want the respect of the fairness. The people in the comments right now trying to say I'm a cheater, trying to say this, that, and the third, go fuck yourself. You don't want to be part of the league. We've got plenty of other fucking people that want to be part of the league, so go fuck yourself. Straight up.
Dude, I love 0-2 Mike, baby.
Yeah, you don't understand.
0-2 Mike.
I've never seen a
You know-
winless dog.
Because they don't fucking understand what goes into the league to then be called random bullshit at the end of a game that
Oh,
pisses
man. I
me
love
the
it, I
fuck
love
off. And you don't want to see me piss the fuck off.
Dude, you're entering your villain arc right now.
love it, I
man.
love it.
I love it.
I would have more emotions. I would have more emotions, but I've never been on the side of the ball that wins.
Yeah, you should.
And if I'm the curse,
That's
if
the
I'm,
problem.
Don't hit the table.
That's the
Don't hit
problem.
table.
That's
if
the
I'm the
problem.
cavity on the team, I'm gonna take credibility. But I think our biggest issue is passing the ball back out after we drive it, and we've been saying it in the group chat all week. We've been saying it over and over again. Our team's chemistry needs to grow, and that is a big reason why we're not winning games.
I agree. I don't think the losses were on them. And I've in our group chat, I have never once blamed the refs.
No.
I'm addressing this publicly because I'm the one that edited the game and saw the bias. And I'm the one that can see the way that the refs are behaving towards me and my guys. And most of them have never played on my team or in the league. So they don't deserve that treatment. If you have a problem with me, address it with me directly. Be a man about it, but don't sabotage my guys who are all paying to be a part of this league. That's not right.
Fair enough.
It's not right.
It's a fair-
Sauce, I will tell you the person or people that did that so that we can not have them ref at least my games, but any games if that's what it's going to be. Because we can't have the bias.
Oh.
It's not Eric.
I was one of those refs.
It's not. But you weren't out there being biased and cheering for the other team.
I'm never biased.
I've seen it. I've seen it in multiple weeks and in multiple seasons. You did a terrible job reffing, but that has nothing to do with it.
You sir, are not a good ref.
It's okay. I appreciate your effort. I'll never get mad
I
at
am
a ref for
honest.
trying.
I am
Yeah,
honest.
you're trying your best. I'm not mad at that.
I'm being honest when I say I don't want you as a ref anymore.
Game 4.
Game four. We had the La Familia versus
That's
the
a big
Magicians.
score.
Yes.
Where's the defense,
86 to
Magicians?
69.
Jesus,
La Familia
86.
walking away with
That's
the W. Mike Parker turning up.
Ethan with
25
13 points. I love it.
Celly Nation, like, record 9 steals.
Shit was crazy.
Shit was crazy.
86,
Braylon
you don't even
Pickens
see that in
with
college
24.
basketball.
Yeah, you don't see that anywhere.
What-
Last
and
person
then-
I saw
and
do
then-
that was Michael Carter Williams, his rookie debut.
No, I'm saying the
76ers.
scores. There's some like college basketball.
Oh, 86,
games that
69.
are
Oh, yeah.
86.
Yeah. Boys get buckets.
Thank you, Mike.
But the Magicians, you got Phil with another
Sorry,
double-double. I
you're
make two,
good.
I think 2 in a row for
Passion,
Phil with a
man.
double-double, 24
Thanks, Mike.
points and 10
Happy birthday.
rebounds.
Thanks.
And then you got Ethan Parks
We're gonna
with
get you a
13
dub.
points. Pat, so you just pulled up. What did you see from this game?
Unfortunately, I was not in attendance of this game.
Oh, you aren't.
I was in a rush to get out because of the unfairness in the game before. But I think the Magicians are a great basketball team. They have, just like the Dogs, there's a lot of talent. They just need to come together and play together. I feel like that's a team that, from what I have seen from game 1, they don't have the chemistry. La Familia has chemistry, and that's why they're putting up 86 points in a 40-minute game.
I think they're
What-
too quick to quit on each other.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, have faith in your guys a little bit. I know we shit on the Magicians, and
They don't have their coach right now either.
No.
they're better off. Honestly, if Gator doesn't want to show up to help his team, they're
That's-
better off without him.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I don't.
I
whatever.
say Noah for coach.
No, he doesn't want
Captain
that.
of the year, what?
We don't want that either. We saw
Oh,
what he
Noah
did last year,
Perez?
too. He doesn't want that. He's better as a player. Honestly, Noah's been playing great these past 2 games,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So, credit to Noah. He's playing
Put
his
the work
role.
in.
And honestly, he's a guy that's trying to be a positive force on that team and trying to lift them up
Yeah.
when they are struggling and when Phil's quitting or Mike Mitchell's chucking up bad shots. Noah has remained positive, cool, and collective in their huddles and on the sideline. So, respect to Noah on that.
Why did I hear Phil shot on the other person's?
Because he did. So, for the rundown for you two, I know I gave it to Kyle, but for the rundown and for the people that may not have seen this game, it was actually a very close game. The whole entire time, back and forth. Steve the Kid and Vaughn did a phenomenal job commentating, but that's besides the point. I thought the reffing was relatively good as well. I don't think there was that much issues with that. But the Makos were in the game, down by 4.
Magicians.
Magicians, excuse me. Magicians were in the game, down by 4 towards the end of this game, and Santi or Braylon hit a 3. Then Mike Parker steals the inbound. They hit a layup. Then they hit another 3. And it went from a 4-point game back to a double-digit lead within a matter of 15, 20 seconds. And that is when the momentum shifted. Mike Mitchell chucks up a bad shot. Phil quits. And then you see with 50 seconds left, Phil gets the inbound, shoots it on La Familia's goal, and
I think
the game was called.
I think that goes to just not having a captain there, right? If you have a captain there, there's something with having a captain. People listen to the captain, and
If they listen to the
if they listen to
Yeah.
the captain, but the captain has willpower on what his team is doing. If you're down by 4, and let's say they go up by 6 or 7, right, and or they hit 2 back-to-back threes. I don't know. I wasn't there in attendance, but if the Magicians had a timeout, that's when you call a timeout, right? And that's when a captain realizes he calls a timeout. And with no
After
captain,
that steal on the inbound.
yeah.
Yep.
And when you don't have a captain there to realize that, they're all just Rambos. They were just all let's just play freaking basketball. But if you have a captain and is watching the game, you call timeout there, and that stops the momentum of what the hell just happened there. Back-to-back threes when you were down by 4, you had the momentum. You don't call a timeout when you're down by 4 because you're building the momentum, but you do call a timeout
When you're down by 9 now.
Yeah, when your team
10 seconds later.
Yeah,
Yes.
when your team's fumbling.
Yeah.
And I think, and honestly, I don't throw shots at people. I'm all love here, but to be a captain and not show up to your game is just
Shows who you really are.
not who you really are. It's not even that. It's just like, what the hell does that team expect from that captain throughout the rest of the season? You get suspended, and then your first reaction to that suspension is not show up to the next game. That's not leadership at all. Like, I would never follow. That's like you losing like a battle in a war, and then the general just goes back and like, you know what? All you men just go on front line. You survived, good, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be there because I don't trust you guys. That's exactly what happened here. There's no trust. And that can be very bad in later the season. So I think Gator, if he really wants to be a captain, first he needs to apologize. 2, he needs to come up with a game plan, and I think that's how they bounce back.
Sauce has a great point. He said that it fell apart once that press came out. And I said the same exact thing while watching the game. La Familia found something in week 1 when they started that. Yeah, it's strong. Once they started that full court press, because they're so guard heavy, Tone, being the great coach that he is, he figured out that full court press, especially against the Magicians team with no point guard, which we've been saying, they had no answer. And the Ghost Riders almost fell apart in week 1 due to the same exact thing because they kept trying to dribble out of the press. Instead, you create a triangle, spread the court, and you find some spots to open up a passing lane instead of trying to dribble your way through 3 defenders, especially when one of them is Mike Parker, who had 9 steals. And that man does not run out of energy. He's got that use of that Bond 2K energy. Mike Parker came with that the whole entire game. And as you see, he was definitely the player of that game, probably our platinum player of the week.
So but the Magicians, we say that Phil needs some help. Do you think with the other 8 games coming up, do you think he'll get that? Because Phil's hooping. He is hooping. He is hooping.
Phil's a phenomenal player.
He's got Montel.
No, he has
he's
help.
got Chili,
he has help on paper.
but they're not
like,
getting
on the
them
court.
involved. If you watch the game, it's Phil takes a shot, and not the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
They had spurts where their ball movement was good, and Phil is an unselfish player. They had very good spurts. When they got down by 4, it was off of Trey's pass to Ethan to Phil, and Phil got a wide open 3. That's what they need. Ball movement. Mike Mitchell coming down court and wanting to go 1-on-5, or Mike Mitchell taking a deep 3 when nobody else has touched the ball in that possession. Those are what's frustrating his teammates and what's killing the momentum. And when Phil gets out of it mentally, it's when his decision-making starts to lack and when his defense starts to lack, and he's a two-way player. He can do it on both sides if he's locked in there. So what they need to do is move the ball around, and Mike Mitchell, the hood superstar, you got to move the ball around with your guys. You have a talented team, and you don't have a point guard, so you and Phil have to be facilitators. Because you know if you swing the ball to Phil, or if you swing the ball to Noah or Chili, they will pass the ball.
Yeah.
They're not selfish guys.
Yeah, I think they need to get more Chili involved with the pick and roll.
Yep.
Get Montel and Chili on the pick and roll. You have
Montel's
2
an
very
athlete.
talented big men.
Yeah, Montel's lit. He dunked on me when I that was my first thing coming out. The man literally put his nuts on my face and dunked at me. And it was on video.
We played
it's on
with-
clip.
I remember.
We played with Montel last year.
Yeah,
on Bandits.
Montel's a super freak athlete, and Phil's really good. And you know what? I could kind of appeal to Phil. Like when he had 24 points, and when you just like when you're going so hard all game and you're down by 4, and then all your team just makes mistakes. Like it's very hard to still be
In there
mentally
mentally, yeah.
sharp in that when you've done all your best. And I think what he did was not correct, was to shoot a 3 on your own basket. But I can see the frustration there. But if they set their offense and they get ready, they're a good team. They're a very good team. They just need direction. And mark my words, if Magicians get their win and they find their rhythm, they can be a very good team. They just need to find it. And it's on Gator or whoever is in charge of that team to find it. I mean, I was there week 1, and they used me as a dummy to play zone and how to play zone. They were prepping, like they want to win. So it's not like they don't care.
Yeah.
They just need to have direction.
They need the coach to lead the pack.
They got the team to win.
Yeah, this team could put up 50 points in the first half
Yeah, easily.
if they work together and play the right system of basketball. Phil taking every shot is not going to work, and Montel and Chili need to be working down low, up high, down low, however they want to score points. Ethan's a great basketball player as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan had a great game. That
But
could be good for them.
But I think
the selfishness of Mike Mitchell, as Mike said, he's shooting deep range 3s, going 1-on-5, as you see in
And
other
the shoes.
games.
The shoes were horrible. I know you didn't see the broadcast, but god damn, the T-Max. Vaughn and
brick of the
SDK,
day.
they roasted him.
The brick of the day
But go
on his
ahead,
feet.
sorry.
No, you're fine. For some reason, I have a feeling Mike Mitchell could pull out some clown shoes. But
I love Mike Mitchell, man. That's my guy.
the guy's repping shoes from the
I like him.
1970s.
He's wearing T-Max. If that says anything about it.
But dude, I think what everyone in the league can learn from is Tone just being vocal, right? My bad.
No,
And on the court and off the court, if you watch his games, I remember last season, he's always freaking talking, always talking and sees it, and he will tell his team. He's like Ray Lewis, like he will tell them like what's happening, where is he going. If you have someone vocal like that, it's phenomenal. It helps the defense a lot. Like with the Goblins, we have me and Zane who are just screaming at our defense when a pick comes, when someone's wide open. Because when you're in the game, it's hard to like focus on everything. So when you have your teammates telling you and communicating, it's fantastic. And I think that's what Tone does really good. And I think that's what you say. He's a very good coach because he's vocal. So don't be afraid to be vocal. Start screaming. You ran you ran out the whole gym, scream at your players like, pick coming, shoot on the right, shoot on the left.
Yeah.
Who has him? Who has him? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Tone is a great captain because he's not afraid to be vocal. And I think a lot of
He's
people
very
learn from
vocal and
that.
he's unselfish.
Yeah.
He's for the team. He lost, 2 championships in a row now?
3. Was it?
2.
2 championships in a row. He's
only been coached
hungry
2
to win.
times, so.
He's hungry to win, and as we saw last year, he was very disappointed after that championship loss.
Some
And
can say he's due.
In my opinion, I think this is probably his best chance with the roster.
Yep.
This is probably the best roster he has.
He's due.
I don't know, man. That Season
No.
3 roster was very good.
But
I
that-
watched that game back today. It was a very good game.
Yeah.
It was a very good game. They had Santi, Vaughn,
And Dame.
and Dame. Yeah, it was a very tough team.
That's a
to
good
beat.
roster.
Yeah, it was a very good team.
I miss Dame.
Yeah, Dame's a good guy.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right, let's see if we
Shout
get
out to Dame.
what everybody's waiting on, the Parker Power Rankings.
I talked to him about this today.
You did?
Yeah, at work.
How
Do you want to
do it?
FaceTime them? Do
I
you
can-
want to just go
I-
graphics?
I can get him on the line.
Parker's power rankings. I hope, Parker, you're repping the dog somewhere in the top 10.
No, we're top 8 for sure.
Yeah, I hope
we're
so.
top 8.
The other 2 teams aren't there. They're future teams. Kyle King is captain. I can't wait for that day.
Oh my God,
All right, hopefully
Kyson.
Parker's available.
What's the comment
Kyson
say?
said Ethan can say the N-word in my book. Yeah, you're a psycho, Kyson. That's why you're a dog.
Oh, Parker's available.
There he is.
Yes, sir.
The podcast. Am I going too hard? I know I'm very red right now. Am I too angry at the people?
I thought you were drunk.
I'm not drunk. I'm pissed.
Not
If you would have
yet.
heard me 2 nights ago, I was so fucking mad at 2 a.m. After editing our game. This
Ash,
is nothing.
man. Poor Ash.
She
dude.
was mad too.
They're
She
poor
was
Ash.
mad too.
It's like my girlfriend when the Hawks lose. She will hear
Parker.
it the whole
Hold him to the
night.
camera.
She will hear it the whole night. I'm like, we just lost our freaking
Hey,
Pistons.
thanks, Parker. Love you.
Sam, happy birthday in the chat, you sick fuckers.
All right, Parker.
We're all
Yeah.
like,
They don't appreciate me around here.
They're like, oh, maybe they're gonna be good. Eric, they're not a great team. They're not. They're really fucking bad. Every week I watch them and I go, can they get worse? And then Phil starts shooting on his own fucking hoop and I was like, oh my God, they can get worse. It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. There's some guys on that team I really like. There's some guys on that team I really don't like. And it's just like, it doesn't work. I feel so bad. There's like a running bet right now. Who's going to get their first win? Is it Pat or Montel? We're not sure. We're split right now, but I'm going to go Pat because the dogs.
got my money
I don't
on
think they're gonna
Montel.
lose
In the
that much.
comments, let us know.
Hey, it's
Pat and
bound-
Montel, who's going to get their first
It's bound to
win?
happen. We play each other eventually.
You have to say Pat, it's his birthday. Don't
You
shoot
don't know what
man
it
when
is,
he's already
Pat.
down.
You brought that bandit vibe to the fucking dogs. You named yourself a bandit.
If they didn't rush me over here, I was gonna put the bandit jersey back on for
I
good
bet
sakes.
you were. I bet you have it fucking framed.
Oh,
God. Oh my God. Speaking of magicians, no shock, they're number 8 because they looked fucking terrible. Everyone quit in 5 minutes. And then when the game was winnable, La Familia goes on a run because Coach Tone's a very good coach. He does the press, fucking killed him. And it's just like, we're done playing basketball. Let's all yell at each other and then shoot on our own hoop. I was like perplexed. That was the first time in Selling Nation history we had to call a game with a minute left. We were just like, fucking call it, I guess, because Phil's angry. Let's fucking call it. He fucking tackled Mike Parker. Mike Parker has been killing you all game, and you fucking flat out just tackle him, and you're like, he knew I didn't mean to tackle him. Yes, you did. You're going for the Corey. You're going for the Corey of the Year award right now. Remember Corey last year? Yeah, Phil's on track right now. It's not looking great. Phil, I love you, but fucking just help your team. Stop quitting. Stop quitting every play. We need you to play. Stop
Parker, he
quitting.
scored 24 points. What do you mean don't
Oh
help
my
your
God,
team?
he's a really good basketball player. Stop quitting every play. Stop bitching every play. Every play. It's annoying. It sucks to watch. Your team hates it. You're angry when anyone else takes a shot. I'd be angry if Mike Mitchell was taking shots too. No offense. He is just chucking them right now.
he's going for the
Real
6
bad.
man award.
Yeah, that 6-man award is not going to him. Right now, Brandon Steed is my front runner.
Really?
Brandon
Over
Steed
Santi?
should win from
Over
6-man
Gary?
here.
Over Santi?
Shout out, yeah, over fucking
Brandon
Gary.
Steed
I
is,
love
is
Gary.
a boss. What are you
over
talking
Gary.
about?
Gary's a
Brandon-
dog.
Coming off the
Don't
bench
be
with
like Brandon.
17
No, I love
points
you,
is
Brandon.
nuts. 20 points. My bad.
Who
My
dropped
bad,
But
Steve.
Santi's dropping
Steve.
like 25 off the bench.
Okay, well, Santi's not going to come off the bench every game. I know that as a fact. He's too good.
I'm averaging 2 points a game right now.
7. All right, shut up. It's my power ranking, not yours. 7.
Parker, there's a hang up button, and I'm not afraid to touch it.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you on your birthday. You won't see 27. 7 dogs. Of course, you guys lose 2 in a row. Yeah, you lost to the Reapers. 7 dogs. I don't know what else to say. It looked very disjointed. There's not a lot of chemistry on that dogs team
Parker,
right now.
didn't you say the Dogs were going to be top 3 in the beginning of the season?
I did.
It's
And then
a
they played
long
like
season,
shit 2
Kyle.
games in a row. It just happens. That's what happens in
The
a
rank-
season.
the ranking
Remember
was
when you
fluid.
thought the Hawks were going to go to the finals? Hey, they're barely in 10th place. Way to go, retard.
So last season, last buddy. We're better than that.
Well, Parker just got canceled by half the community.
No. Half of them are retarded. So. 6. People are going to be like, oh, really? Yeah. La Familia, you're 6. You beat the Magicians. Yeah, you beat the Magicians. That's your bye week, okay? Beat somebody really good and you move up in the rankings. I said that before. The rankings are based on who you play and if you win or lose. And if you beat the Magicians, you don't move. You stay there. Sorry, guys. 5, Reapers. Reapers beat the Dogs. They moved from 7 to 5. Good showing.
That's crazy. Put the
Somebody
Reapers
else
with
besides
us.
Sway needs to score the ball, even a little. Like the offense is really bad. Like I don't know. Sterling needs to hit a shot. Sauce, you gotta fucking start hitting something, bro. You're killing me. You hit that big 3 at the end of the game, but I need you to hit some more shots.
I locked Sauce down, and I will again in the future time.
There you go. Pat's calling out. Anna's texting me. Stop screaming. Relax. Okay.
Is his face red?
All right.
Oh, it's peachy.
It's peachy. 4, Panthers.
That's bad.
Panthers, you took an L. You took an L from the best team in the league, so you don't drop super far. You guys look good. There's some stuff you do need to improve.
I can't wait to
I
pass.
don't know. It was a quieter game for Corbin. I think he's your glue guy. He's your Ryan. If you can get him into like the 10, 12-point range, that's probably for the best for you guys. But yeah, let's see what Dom and Fritz. They didn't play too bad. Tough game. You guys ran into a fucking buzzsaw, which was Brandon Steed. You ran into the Brandon Steed buzzsaw.
Don't
3.
forget about Uno.
Steedery.
Yes, Uno's doing stuff. So we need to drug test the league also because I think half the league would be eligible. But also we need to urine test them if they're drunk before the games because Uno, man, you cost the Ghost Riders, who are 3 right now. You cost the Ghost Riders this win so hard. I'm not saying the Makos absolutely won that game because there's no way you should give up a 15-point lead, Ghost Riders. But yeah, Steve the Kid really wanted the Makos to win. He made some questionable decisions at the end of the game. You guys played really well. Vaughn played a hell of a game. Chan, shout out Chan. Chan played a hell of a game.
Dude.
He had 8 points in the first half. Really
It's a
looked
dip
good.
brother right
Could be
there.
on that 6-man of the year kind of trajectory. Axel quieter game. Trayvon is so fun to watch because he just does things very smooth, doesn't force a whole bunch, gets to his pocket, plays that mid-range game. Every time he pulled from mid-range, I'm like, oh, that's fucking going in. Trayvon is a hell of a player. 2, Makos. 2-0 Makos. Big time. You guys gotta test this week, but you guys came away with a comeback. Again, I'm not trying to take away from your win against the Ghost Riders because you guys never gave up. You never stopped. You were down 15 in the second half, I think 10 minutes ago. I love you guys. You played with a lot of heart. There's a lot of heart on that team. There's a Luke Finelli. He's got a lot of love to give. Kyle played really well down the stretch.
Thank you.
You're fucking, not you, Kyle. You have fucking Psycho Yusuf doing his thing, bing bonging from the parking lot. He's a goddamn
There was
psycho.
a lot of
But
logo
it's
shots
been
in
working.
that.
It's been working.
There's a lot
X
of
was
logo
hitting a
shots.
shot as well. I mean, if that team is hitting their 3-pointers, like, they're a very difficult team to beat. One Goblins should not come as a surprise.
Nope.
Handled a number 3 team in the Panthers. Handled
With 7 people, by the way, Parker.
Kyle, thank you. Yeah, you guys were also down your number 2 scorer, which was Dean from last week. He fucking shot the lights out last week. Had an unfortunate thorn injury, and then you guys still play fantastic. Just next man up mentality. Shout out Batman. But yeah, no, we've got Goblins won. If anybody thinks I'm wrong, fuck you. If anybody thinks I'm right, thanks.
Parker, I think you're wrong.
Can we just talk about how Batman has been talking crap to me?
Yeah, hey Kyle, why do you think I'm wrong?
Because the Panthers should be higher.
I think the Panthers should be higher.
Already, you want to know why they're not higher? Because there were 3 last week and they lost this week, so they moved down to 4. Any other retarded questions?
Okay, the Hawks beat the Magic in the series. Are we better than the Hawks in the Eastern Conference?
Kyle, another retarded question, another retarded statement because we play one more game. You fucking idiot.
We're still winning, brother. Check the scoreboard. We're still. I like the Panthers team. I really do, and I think they. I think they're number. I think they're number 3. I think they're number 3. I honestly do.
They're very
Are
good.
we hearing a Kyle to the Panthers trade?
No,
Yeah.
you're not. But I think they're still number 3 because the sole fact is
a little Kyle for Steven action.
just because the sole fact that the Ghost Riders were up by the Ghost Riders were up by 17 and they gave up that lead. And the Panthers game, they just gave up in the last 5 minutes. But
they were up by 12 in the first half. So you have
they're up by 12 in the.
I would say that first half, the last 8 minutes, we literally score 4 points. That's never happening again.
No,
just to let
You
you
guys
know.
aren't scoring 4 points the entire game on Sunday.
Listen, for me to come up with power rankings too early in the season, you know what? I think all teams are very good, but I will say I like the Panthers a lot. That's all I'm gonna say.
While we still have Parker on the phone though, is the Magicians looking like the new Bandits? Are we thinking?
Yeah, I said it before the season started. The Magicians is the Bandits 2.0. I would honestly take the Bandits of last season over this Magicians team.
Wow.
10 out of 10 games.
Wow.
They're the Banditians.
The Banditians.
Let me tell you something. That Bandits team gets a second run around. We're not losing a game.
You guys, here's the thing. You guys just played much more together, which you guys didn't play very well together at all, and that just the Magicians are just all
To bring back the historically fan favorite team of the Bandits, we started gaining the chemistry.
Oh my god.
It just came too late in the season.
it came one
God,
game.
no, the fuck it didn't, dude. It really didn't.
We had players walking off the bench, quitting. We had players just, dropping 45 a game. Shout out to Dame.
He never had 45.
You know what?
30 max.
We lost every game by less than 4, I think.
Stop hitting the table.
Sorry.
You guys almost won that playoff game too, Pat. Did a player ever quit and then start shooting on your own hoop?
No, but there was a few times where Fadi and a few others got off the bench and left.
Well,
11 Parker.
yeah. What's up?
There's a lot of
But-
fucking comments.
Shout out to the dogs. I'm getting my first win for my birthday.
Shout out to the Parker Power Rankings.
Thank you, Parker.
Here next
Parker,
week.
Hawks are better than the Magic.
Kyle's retarded.
Dude, someone cancel this, man. Someone clip that and post it all on social
You want to
media.
read some of the comments? Or,
There's just a lot. They love him, Parker, and then we're just talking shit. I was talking shit back to them.
no.
But they said we slept on Fonzo. Fonzo should have been mentioned. Fonzo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
He's definitely in that most improved.
Fonzo
Right?
apologized
At the
for
moment,
that. You didn't play very good, brother.
He played really good.
He balled out at the end.
Yeah.
He balled out at the end.
Major factor. All right, the number 1 Goblins on the Osceola Conference, and then we got the number 1 Makos in the Orange Conference. Now, if it was a 2-game season or whatever, the Makos and the Goblins would be in the championship. If you had to choose between the Goblins and the Makos, Pat, 1 game, everybody, 1 through 9 is playing.
Taking my former Bandit teammate and taking Dean and the Goblins.
Taking Dean and the
You
Goblins.
mean you're
Why?
2 former? I'm
No.
here. I was on the Bandits. It's 2 former.
I don't
teammates.
count you.
Wow.
You're their mascot, bro.
Wow, that's fun. That's funny that we dropped double digits on you to win. Oh, with 7 people, you called me
But-
mascot.
Well, technically 6.
What do you mean?
But I will say,
6 people? Oh, because I'm the mascot?
it's the end of the.
This mascot
Hey, Kyle.
W is.
Hey,
We're 2-0,
Kyle,
bro.
shut up. At the end of the day, world's coming to an end, and we have one shot to end all humanity. I'm giving the shot to Kyle.
No, you're fucking not. You're giving the shot to
Nope,
literally the
not
rest
one.
of the rest of 99% of the team.
Nope.
Because I'm gonna pass that motherfucker out. I'm not gonna.
But
shoot
you're
it.
going Makos or you're
He's
going
going
Goblins?
Goblins.
Just because Dean.
Shout out to Dean and Kyle.
What about you, Mike?
It's hard to tell, because the Goblins have played two good people. So you would want to go with the Goblins for that fact alone, the fact that the Makos played the Magicians in Week 1, but they did come back from a late game, and I like Yusuf in a one-game opportunity. I think Yusuf is very hard to guard, and if 1v1 God gets going, or Kyle or X, I don't know who your secondary defender is outside of Juan. You put Juan on Yusuf, cool. He probably does a good job. Who's going to take 1v1? Who's going to take X? Who's going to take Shotgun? I like the Makos. I don't necessarily think I picked them over the Goblins. It's a very hard take this early in the season, but I wouldn't sleep on either team. I think both teams have really good pieces, and both, rightfully so, are at the top of their conferences.
I think the Makos have more talent than the
Their
Goblins.
ceiling is way higher.
But I think with their defense isn't there. They're all an offensive team. I think they play each other tomorrow, and Juan and Dean will drop 20 each. There's no defense on the
Dean
Makos.
has a thorn in his foot, so Dean's not playing tomorrow.
Listen,
Dean with one leg.
I'm the PR of our team. His foot is fine. He'll be ready. All right.
All I'm saying is, what I'm saying right now is, I would pick the Goblins. If you put a gun to my head, I would pick the Goblins. And my thought process is exactly what Kyle said. They're more of a team. They're more bought in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes a difference. Not to say that the Makos can't get there. Not to say that any of the other 6 teams can't get there. I think at this point, this season, it's anybody's game. More so than any other season. I feel like this one is very much a tight race.
Oh, yeah.
Probably as tight as it's been since season 1, if we're being realistic. In season 3, it was close. The top 2 teams were definitely close, but the rest of it, there was a huge fall off.
Yeah.
Here, there's no real fall off. There's no disparity in talent to where, like, we thought me, Parker, and whoever else thought the Reapers sucked. They proved us wrong. They beat us.
I didn't think they sucked. I just thought they weren't going to score as much, and they
didn't score a lot. Yeah, they're not. We knew that, but we thought that they couldn't win games because of that, and we were proven wrong.
Yeah.
So what that proves to me is any team can win on any day, and every team has to watch their back, because when the playoff time comes, the 6 teams that make it could be anybody's game.
It's only one game, yeah.
It's anybody's game, and that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see who makes it to the playoffs, whether the Dogs make it or not, which obviously I think we're going to make it because I'm a fucking psycho, and I'm going to make sure that I fucking do what I have to do to make sure we make it. But
Pay the refs. Sorry.
they pay me to ref. So, what are we doing here?
I think that we miss out on the Goblins, too. They have a sleeper in Dre.
They have a sleeper in Brandon Steed. If we really want to talk about sleepers,
awesome.
And he messaged me earlier very annoyed about the fact that he wasn't brought up in the broadcast, and I explained to him why. Because he didn't move the ball a lot, and he takes some bad shots. But he is a very good player. I told him straight, he's the top guard in this league. It's his decision-making and his lack of playing games last year. He only played in 3-4 games.
Right.
That's why he was a 4th-round pick.
I don't agree with that, because I think, first of all, in that comment is when you have someone like Chief on our team, who's just probably he is the best point guard in the league. He had
I wouldn't say he's the best point guard. I would say he's more of the best.
No, as a truest point guard, he's the best truest point guard in the league.
I would say not even point guard. He's the best facilitator.
Yes. He's the general. Yeah. He has a microscope or whatever. What do you call those things that the Pirates used to have? What are those things called?
Binocular.
Yes.
No,
telescope.
Binoculars. Yeah, telescope. Well, binocular telescope.
Whatever scope it is.
Science shit.
Atis is. I think that him doing that kind of just overshadows what Brandon can bring to the table. I think Brandon's a phenomenal point guard, and he showed it this game.
They're opposites though.
There are opposites.
opposites.
There are opposites, because Brandon Steed will pull up in the mid shot, and I love that when he does that. With 7 men down, I was worried about this game, but then Brandon came up and he stepped up in a huge way. going back to what the Makos and Goblins, it's honestly, it just comes down to who if the Makos can hit their shots. Because if you really think about it and you really look back in the last 2 games, our number one thing that we're trying to work better out is boxing out and getting the defensive and offensive rebounds when we can. And when you have Makos, when you have 5 out shooting, if Kyle Arts can hit a shot, if X can hit a shot, if 1v1 guard can cook the guy who cook one of our guys that's guarding him, or vice versa with Yusuf, it's very hard to get those offensive rebounds when a lot of those shots are coming outside the paint, right? If we're struggling on rebounding and we can't box out and they're hitting their shots, it's gonna be a toss-up. It happened in the scrimmage. We played the Makos, we were up by 9, and they started hitting their shots, and we tied it, and we couldn't go to overtime. And I just think it would be a close game. I think if something is our kryptonite, obviously it would be the Makos, just because they're bigger than us, because they have bigger people. But if they hit their shots, it would be a close game. But obviously, I'm biased pick. I'm still gonna pick my Goblins, ride or die. Mm-hmm. But if they hit their shots, it's gonna be a scary game for us because they have so many big people, and there's so many people. Because let's say I'm guarding Kyle, or someone's guarding X, and they shoot their shot. I would say like 70 or 80% of the shots from threes, if you don't make those are long rebounds, right? And we don't get those long rebounds. It's easy to get a rebound that's right here, right under the hoop, but if it hits the hoop and it goes outside the paint, it's hard to get those rebounds. Yeah. And I think Makos, being the bigger team, will get those rebounds over us. So I will say it will be a toss-up. I'm taking my Goblins, but it's a hard game. It's a hard game that we're gonna have to work for. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter.
Hey, what was the chat saying? Makos or Goblins?
Weigh in. Who do you think?
What
Goblins,
do you guys think?
Goblins or Makos?
If you had one game.
And then I'll read it out. We have, Sauce or Sway says Reapers in 5. Sauce says Goblins depend a lot on outside shots that can hurt them, but they can defend better than the Makos. Dean says we got snipers. Confidence is there. Shots are falling. It's not a big disparity between all the teams, says Sauce. Parker said, watch out for the thorns. Sauce said it's the teams with actual identities that have looked the best, and Chief is without a doubt the best point guard. Yeah, we're all agreeing with that. It's
very say
true.
Best point guard.
It's just depending on what. I think he's using the term point guard
Kenny
as
Chef.
facilitator.
Kenny Chef is putting his name out there. I like Chef because he reminds me of Marcus, but more of like a guy who's actually looking to get his. Because Marcus was looking to get yours. Like get everybody else.
I guess Eric, if you ask someone what is a point guard, right, and that's the fundamental question you're gonna ask someone. Yeah. What is a point guard, right? You can either get someone like Steph who shoots lights out or hits some mid shots or who does the cuts, or one and only Trae Young who facilitates and gets the general and passes the ball, right? What is your definition of a point guard? For me, it is someone who could be the general and can facilitate and get the offense going. That is a point guard for me. Someone who scores, shooting guard, right? And I think Chief is in my book, the best point guard because he gets the offense going. He sees things that are just phenomenal and helps our team out. Especially since we have so many shooters, Dre, Dean, Zayn. If he can get all those people going because he sees the field, that what makes him the point guard.
Definitely.
Yeah, it just depends on what.
If we're talking like facilitating wise, I'm giving it to Chief. It's hard for me to just say he's the best point guard.
If I was going to ask you before Steph Curry joined the league, pre-Steph Curry, what a point guard was.
Chris
Paul, Magic Johnson, facilitator, right? Yeah. Steph joined the league, people chucking up things from logos. Yeah. If they can make those shots, good. But it's changing over the era what a point guard actually is. I'm true to the point guard. I think Chief is the best point guard in the league. That's just my take.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. Now let's talk about a couple of league leaders. Start with points per game. We've got Yusef leading the way with 26 points per game after saying he was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. Right behind, tied in second, you got Josue with 23, Trayvon with 23. And then tied for third, you got Santi and Phil with 22.5. Anybody surprising you up there on the top 5?
No.
Any surprising names? Really? Josue surprising me.
No,
really?
We said it before that Josue has to.
But that's the thing, he has to. But this is probably like my first time ever seeing Josue with like 23 points per game.
Dude,
I was expecting like 17, 18.
Because in season 3, he had Corey who didn't pass the ball. Season 4, he was surrounded by a talented cast where the one game where he decided that he wanted to go off, he scored 30-plus points. The other games, he didn't need to. He didn't care to. He wanted to play defense. He wanted to play his role. He moved the ball very well, and he was a great teammate and one of my favorite teammates to ever play with. This season, he has to. And he showed that he can. If you look back at Season 3, the 1 week Corey's not there, he drops 42. Sway can.
Yeah.
Sway chooses to be an unselfish superstar, which is something that is very respectable in this league because not a lot of players are. He didn't take that many shots. He got fouled a lot,
Yeah,
but
he
like
takes a lot of free throws.
yeah, he took a lot of free throws because he got to the line, and we already spoke about the refs, but like he took a lot. He didn't take that many shots comparatively to his team.
Yeah.
He wasn't selfish with the ball. It's just he has to do it, and he did a good job of doing what he did.
And I honestly think Sway is he plays both sides of the ball. He's a very good defender and a scorer. And in my eyes, that says a lot more than someone can score. If you can play both sides of the ball, you're a true element of basketball, right? Yeah. You're just not a person that just makes a lot of points. I love Yusuf. I love his play. But Sway, if you can play, he plays both sides of the ball, and I love Sway's game. Watching that Reapers game and how much effort he put, scoring, free throws, and defending, getting those strips, I don't know if he had a block or not, but he was there. So I like Sway, and I think he should be talked about more on his defensive side. He can score, yes, but he can also defend very well, and I think that's what's going good for him.
I feel like he's earned his name on that defensive side. He's won
Yeah,
defensive
he
player of the
has.
year.
If you look at your question a few weeks ago, MVP, if he takes his Reaper team far,
Yeah, that's going to be my next question.
yeah, he's got to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
He's doing it on both sides of the ball. I mean, without a doubt, he's got to be in that conversation.
Anything you can take the Reapers?
Who knows?
Far enough
At
to be
this
in that?
point, my takes are completely inaccurate. I thought I knew everything about this league because I normally am right,
Yeah.
but clearly I'm not. Clearly, I'm wrong a lot. And fuck, the Reapers could beat the Goblins this week. And if that happens and we beat you, our conference is all squared up.
Yeah.
We have 2 2-1s, 2 1-2s, and the conference is very tight.
It's up for grabs. Yeah.
I think, like I said a few minutes ago, this is the most competitive season we've seen. Every team
Every
can beat
game
any
matters.
team on any day.
Yeah.
And it's very cool to see.
Pat, do you think Yusuf's going to keep this up? 26 points per game?
I think Yusuf averages over 30 by the end of the year.
Really?
That's a hot take.
I think he averages over 30 by the time the season comes to an end. I think the Makos know who their number one player is,
Yeah.
and they share the ball very well. Yusuf, love him to death. I don't know what he said to me when I called a foul on him. Pretty sure it wasn't nothing nice. But I think he is a front runner for MVP right now, and I think he leads the Makos far in the playoffs.
Mike, you've been a captain that's been back-to-back championship. When you have someone like Yusuf and 1v1 God, and you have those kind of the same type of score, how do you manage that? Like, I just want to ask, like, how do you realize who to get going, right? Because both of them can get really going.
Yeah.
Like, if Yusuf is taking a lot of the shots, how can 1v1 God get hot, or how can the rest of the team get hot? Like I want to hear your take on how to manage those two phenomenal players.
So from my perspective, Season 2, I had AJ and Nacho, along with myself. Season 3, I had AJ and Yusuf, along with myself, Mike Ingersoll, Nick. Season 5, I had Dom, Josue, myself, Ryan. And I put myself in there. Obviously, I think that I'm on that level. A lot of people don't. I do. But regardless, when we have 2-3 guys that are on that level, I make it imperative that we get the role players going. I think that's the most important. And I tell, especially a guy like AJ, and same thing with Yusuf.
Nice.
When Yusuf insisted on bringing the ball down, Season 3, what I told him was, you can get going at any time. I want you to get the other guys going first. If you want to play the 1, you have to get the other guys on our team going first, and then you get going, especially with Yusuf's game. Yusuf, although he takes those crazy threes, he gets to the hole so effortlessly. So for me, what I would like to see is for him to move the ball, get shot dock early threes, get Luke confident in the offense, get QDZ involved in the paint, and get 1v1 God involved in the offense, then come back to himself. If he facilitates first and he passes the ball, it opens the floor so much for him. And at the end of the first half, leading into the second half, he's extremely clutch because he's a winner. He wants to win games. So for me, that's what I would do with Yusuf. I say facilitate, let him take over as the game progresses, take his shots where he can, but look for his teammates to score first. And as the game progresses, they have to respect your teammates, and then you take your shot.
With that being said, then do you see Yusuf averaging the same points he's averaging now if he's going to do that method that you just said?
Yes.
I think he scores more if he passes the ball more.
Yes, I agree entirely. So we played Nacho in a game in my semi-pro team, the Flight against the Pride in 2021. Nacho only played in the second half, and he dropped 25 points. This is on a pro team. Yusuf can do the same thing here. Easy drop 25 and a half if he's willing to facilitate the ball.
Yeah.
If you move the ball early, he can have 5 points in the first half and still have 30 on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the floor will open. If Shot Doc starts hitting shots early,
It pulls the defense out. And Yusuf one-on-one, there's not a single player in this. We'll see this week. I could be wrong. Mike Parker could be the guy to do it. I don't think there's a single player in this league that every single possession could stop Yusuf one-on-one.
His energy.
X gets hot too.
Exactly. You should pass the ball to X, Luke, Quentin. They have so many weapons. If he gets his guys involved, and then they bring Fadi off the bench, Fadi gets the guys involved too. He hasn't been on this good of a team since season 3, and he's got so many weapons around him to make a run for a championship. And I have faith in Yusuf in that whole entire squad.
I think it's like the Celtics, right? You got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, like both elite scorers, obviously, and like how do you facilitate both of those people, right? I think that's kind of like the same method or strategy that they need to go into it, because both of those people from the Celtics can score a lot, right? You'll actually see in those games that in the first 5 minutes, it's either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Whoever gets hot, the other comes up. The other will sit on the bench and wait until the streak ends. And that's how kind of the Celtics play, and that's why they're very elite. If Luke can visualize that and be like, okay, this is 1v1's God's game. Let's pull Yusuf out, right, and get more big men for those rebounds. But then let's put him back in 5 minutes, vice versa. 1v1 God's not hitting shots, just pull him out, keep Yusuf in the game, and run that offense. I think it's like kind of, I see it like that, like the kind of the same similarity.
I can see that too. And Sauce asked a question: you don't think Yusuf averaging 30 helps, or do you think Yusuf averaging 30 helps or hurts 1v1?
Good question.
And I think what we saw last season is 1v1 got at the end of the season, the last 4 games had 6-7 assists a game.
Yeah.
He can facilitate. And because 1v1 got is such a weapon, he can do the same role as Yusuf. And I think him getting started early in the game and letting Yusuf kind of do Yusuf, I feel like that's your tandem. Or they can do what you're saying and go back and forth, and whoever's hot to start. It's just 1v1 God hasn't been hot. Yeah. He hasn't had a streak yet. I feel like Braylon said this on broadcast before, and I agree. He's settling. He's settling for threes when he can take a lot of guys off the dribble.
Yeah.
He'll find it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He's got 8 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
1v1 God is one of my favorite people in the league.
I think the reason why Yusuf is doing well is because you have to play defense on Kyle Arts and X, playing it outside at the 3, because both of them can go off,
right,
hitting 4 or 5 threes in a row, and then you're damaging yourself by focusing just on Yusuf, because 1v1 God will take anybody to the rim.
Yeah.
I don't think there are many people in this league. Mike said it about Yusuf. There's not many people that can play defense on 1v1 God one-on-one.
Facts.
It's you can't play selfishly, and I don't think the Makos are right now. I think towards the end of the Makos...
I think they were in the first half.
That's what I was bringing up. I think they were playing selfishly, and they were damaging themselves in that last game. Yusuf came back, and I don't know what Luke says in the huddle, but this team did a whole 360, a 180, whatever you want to say, and they just went off. Those Sharks were smelling blood, and they attacked.
They started moving the ball.
They started moving the ball, and the Ghost Riders, they played the Ghost Riders, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ghost Riders were mentally gone. A couple bad calls were made, and it never left their head. I think, you can't focus on what the refs, because we're not professional referees. When the Ghost Riders started complaining and started bitching about the referee calls and this and that. You watch the score just slowly disappear. And once they got within that 3-point window, it was over.
Yeah,
Makos had too much
that three
swing.
that Yusef hit. That was it.
Yep.
They're hitting from the logo, dude.
Yeah.
From the logo.
But he
It
can.
didn't help.
He
Vaughn
can.
got hurt. Did not help. But the Ghost Riders, they have talent secretly. It's just you need to mentally not lose yourself, and that's what
If
happened.
that boy Axel gets going, dude,
No, that boy-
if he gets going,
that
team
Chaxel
is-
duo.
Chaxel.
Dude,
Chaxel duo.
It's
That-
Shannon
that-
Chaxel,
yeah, if
that's
that
what
duo
it is.
gets going, that's so
Yeah.
deadly. It really is. But going back, we were watching that game, and they were hitting from the logo. I mean, dude, those were deep threes.
But they can do that.
They can
do
and
that.
That's a scary
Two
weapon.
of their guys can do that. Kyle Arts and Yusuf. They both can hit from the logo. They both. You
And-
have to pick them up at half court.
And what do you do with that, right? If Eustace is hitting from the logo, do you
You pick
press
up at
up on
halftime.
him, or you just say
You kind of
press up on him.
You press on him, but also you kind of live with those because
Yeah, right.
As looking at if you're the opponent, you're kind of telling your team like we'll take those because like he's probably not making the next one. He's probably going 1 for 4, but he does get those days where he's like making
Right,
2,
so
3 in
so
a
as
row
a
type
captain
thing.
on the Panthers, you call a timeout. They're hitting logo threes. You're like, let's live with that. And it's so hard because if you do decide to press up on that,
He's gonna beat you off the
you,
dribble.
You beat him off the dribble, and then what Yusuf does really good, he slows momentum when he gets to the hole.
Yeah.
He does this little Euro
little
like
1,
slow mo
2
step,
step,
and
yeah.
it's really hard to like as a big man in the paint. It's really hard to
Time your
decide
jump.
where he's going,
Yeah.
right? Because it's either you get it right or you're fouling him. Those are the two options. And if you play him that high up, it increases the odds of that scenario that I just told you what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
All right, assists per game. Now, if you've been following Cell Nation from season 3, maybe season 4, this shouldn't be a surprise. Chief
Yep.
leading the way with 7.5 assists. I think that might be his highest so far in
sure.
his career. Second, you got Vaughn surprising me with 5.5 assists. He's actually
Big
moving
surprise.
the ball around.
Big
Big
surprise.
surprise. You got third, Mike Parker making his name. First season making his name in the best point guard conversation. And then you got Phil being fourth with 4 assists. And then you got Dom with the Panthers dropping 3.5. Any surprises for you on that list, Mike?
No.
No?
I mean, obviously we don't know what to expect from Mike Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, Vaughn had 5 assists a game in season 3. The last time he played, he had
Okay.
5 assists a game. Yeah, I mean, there's no real surprises in that list. The teams that are successful outside of the Magicians, but Phil is a facilitator. Teams that are successful are moving the ball, and you're seeing that. The 4 of the 5 best teams are in that list.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle? Anybody surprise you?
No.
No.
I honestly, no. I like, dude, Chief. I mean, dude,
That's all he does, yeah.
Love him on my team, man. I really do because he's so good, but he's so selfless. Like he will pass the ball out. He doesn't want to score. Like he comes to the huddle. It's like I don't care as long as we get the dub, but he will pass that ball. Vaughn's very good because he can beat you off dribble, and when he beats you off dribble, it caves in. He can kick it out. Like I'm not surprised with that list. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not surprised with that list. And Phil too. Like he can
Yeah.
score, and you're gonna want to guard him more. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
What about you, Pat? No surprises? No. All right.
Surprised I'm still awake.
Rebounds
It was a
per
long night
game.
last night.
We got Phil leading the way with 10 even.
God damn.
God damn. Second, you got Montel.
How are
with
they so
9.
bad if the 2 of their guys
Bro,
are
2 of
leading
their-
the league in rebounds?
Yeah. And then you got Uno himself.
Steve the
Steven,
Kid, good for him.
7.5 at third. Trayvon with 7. And then you got a couple people tied for 5th with 6.5.
Where's Big Bird?
Somewhere around 5.5.
Actually,
Yeah. When
You
I
lying?
did the math, yeah.
Where am
so
I?
I'm like on the 5 spot. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's my job, man. I'm Dennis Rodman. I will die for a
5
ball.
rebounds off the bench. That's not
I will
bad.
die for that ball, dude.
Kyle is a starter. He's
No.
a starter for the Goblins.
Dude, if I am, 2 minutes.
It's on his resume.
2 minutes
on
max.
his
You
resume.
get 2 minutes max of me, you get 100% effort. That's what I've been telling my team. You get 100% effort when I'm in.
His endurance isn't there, but his voice can be heard within the gym.
Oh, for sure. Him and Zane. Yeah, that's a combo.
That's what I'm
for
saying,
sure.
dude. We're yelling.
That's a combo.
Surprised I don't have a voice when I go into work.
All right. Let's talk about the week 3 matchups. First one, we got the Goblins versus the Reapers. The undefeated Goblins and the Reapers.
Goblins by 15.
Goblins by 15.
That's bold.
That's extremely bold.
That's bold.
You have to realize they're going up against the Reapers who play defense.
Yep.
So they're traditionally not going to score their 60 points.
The Goblins have defense.
Yeah.
And offense. I think Josue drops 22.
Mm-hmm.
Nick drops 8.
Nick had 3 last game. Couldn't hit a fucking shot.
No.
Oh, dude, come on.
But he could grab
time out.
He could grab rebounds out his ass. Yeah.
Cool.
But he
so
couldn't
can
score.
Chili. They can't fucking finish a layup.
They can't
The
score.
issue.
What the hell does
You
it
gotta
do?
you cannot compare them to. You cannot compare them
How they're
to.
the exact same.
You understand?
Dude, Nick brings the ball up. He brings the ball up. He's
So
the
can
one-
Chili.
Dude, but Chili's not bringing the ball up on that team.
Chili did on multiple
Is Chili,
occasions.
is Chili a 5th man? Yes or no? 4th or 5th? Or is he a
Maybe.
1 or 2? Like, what position do you put him at the
He'd be a
division?
4.
4 or 5.
4 or
But
5.
if you look at the Reapers, who's their 4? There is no 4.
You don't need a 4 when Nick is grabbing rebounds out the
Reapers-
freaking
Exactly.
The
But
Reapers-
Chili plays 2 as well. Like Chili plays in all those positions.
He does. He does. He
The
does.
Reapers
But,
do
are
not have
very
a
similar.
but you got to look at the size. You got to look at the size
Yes,
of Chili,
Chili
and then you got
ain't
to look at
2
the
Nicks,
size of Nick.
for sure. We
Yes,
get it. He's
yes.
double the size of Nick. They are the exact same player on the court.
How many offensive rebounds did Nick have?
8.
8
Last
offense.
The issue
Okay,
is.
offensive rebounds.
Not a single defensive
Yeah.
rebound. He had
Right.
8
Eight
offensive
offensive
rebounds.
Do you understand?
Chili does the same shit.
That's some
He had
shit
8,
you've
he had,
never
he had
heard
8
of.
rebounds.
I don't
offensive
know how many he
rebounds.
had. I'm just saying.
Do you guys understand how hard it is to get an offensive rebound?
That's
So
what
No,
I'm
compared to a defensive
it's
rebound?
not when we don't box out.
He literally got 8 offensive rebounds.
You know how
with
many
no
te-
defensive
I
rebounds.
would love to see the
As
the
a
stats.
fucking
No.
5'11".
I
I would love to see the stats on how many points
Let me
were
look at it.
successfully made after Nick got the offensive rebound.
If
We'll
you
have to
not
hit up
prob- do you
Amazon
know
and get the
I have never
advanced stats.
screamed at a team more in my life than to box out Nick. And guess what? No one listened. The guy had 8 offensive rebounds
That's
against the
nuts,
Dogs.
dude. That's Jokic's numbers.
Yeah,
As a
that is.
5'5" person, he's running the
I
one.
gave him 6 inches.
Right, you gave him a couple inches there.
Doesn't matter, dude. He's a number. He's
Hey,
a
yo,
point guard of
sorry, I
the
missed
league.
that one. He gave him 6 inches. All right, Eric.
There's a reason why Nick bought a truck. He has to make up for something.
I'm not taking this. I'm not
Nick,
taking
you're not even in the
this.
chat anymore. What happened to you, Nick?
Nick's
It's just
my
us
boo.
and Sauce. I'm sure Ash is watching too, but
All right, next game we got the Dogs versus the Panthers. You got 2 Dogs and 1 Panther.
you're the only one who can vote, Kyle.
So yeah, you're the only one who got it, Kyle. What do you think?
Panthers.
0-2 Panthers.
I love the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm taking Panthers.
Okay.
If it's a
If we
bounce
go-
back, if it's a
reason-
bounce back for
reason
y'all,
why.
if it's a
Reason
bounce
why.
back for y'all, if y'all win this game, then I can see y'all making the playoffs. This is a huge game for you guys. Huge game for you. If you beat the Panthers, momentum swifts. But I have the Panthers because I like your guys' team. I really do.
I feel like you want to say something, Pat. Go ahead.
I'm saying this now. Kid does not score more than 5 points this week.
Wow. Uno with Uno point.
Uno with less than 5.
Are you guarding him specifically? Is that why?
Understandably, we'll see what the lineup that Mike comes up with. But I promise you, Brandon
Brandon Benton is not.
Benton will not allow a kid to score more than 5 points.
So he is going to be showing up.
we have
We'll
our
see.
full team.
Sometimes Santa shows up on Christmas. We never know.
Sometimes you get a lump of coal.
Yep.
You know?
Sometimes mom doesn't set out the gifts. Santa.
But the one unbiased person got the Panthers winning that one. So we got next game, we got the Ghost Riders and the Magicians. The 0-2 Magicians versus the 1-1 Ghost Riders. Do the Magicians win their first game, Pat?
No, they don't have
Understandably,
Montel. They don't have Montel for the next 3 weeks.
Ooh,
No
what happened?
Montel.
He's got orientation for his job.
Fair enough.
No Montel. No win for the Magicians.
No Montel, no win.
That's a key piece of that team, and I think Vaughn is way too talented for anybody on that team to play defense on him.
No, I think Phil can, but then there's no answer for Trayvon. Exists
Yeah.
Chili, I guess. I mean, it's an interesting matchup. It's more interesting than we're making out to seem.
Yep.
Because I do think Phil can guard Vaughn, and I do think Chili can guard Trayvon. I think this actually is going to come down to the role players, and if we're looking at the role players on the Ghost Riders, they are better than the Ghost Riders or than the
I
Magicians
just don't
role
see
players.
them mentally there. I think the Magicians need to move some people around and make some trades.
They're trying. There's trade talks. We'll see the trade rumors as we go, but
Sounds like I'll be a magician soon, everybody.
Back to the winless season.
I think Ghost Riders win by 5.
Ghost Riders win by 5.
Montel, make room for me. We're linking back up.
unless we trade Pat for Montel.
That'd be a trade of a century. Montel, we're still gotta get our mimosa sometime soon.
Oh my god.
So I think we got the Ghost Riders winning that one.
I think by 5.
By
I think
5.
Ghost Raiders.
Yeah.
I think it's a close game. Yeah, the Magicians can stay in it. I think it's a close game. If they say fuck it and just don't care, it could be by 8, 9, 10. But
I think this game comes down to the role players: Ryan, Chan, Axel, Ghost, Ziggy Zay.
Rebound. That's gonna be a
I
big
think
part.
that 5 people, they're better than
The Magician.
the Magician.
Role players.
Yeah, in my opinion. I think the other 2 cancel out, but I don't think that they have a better 5.
All right, game 4, and I think the game of the week. You got the Makos versus La Familia. The undefeated Makos going up against
I'm taking
the
Makos.
La Familia. You're taking Makos.
Makos by 10.
Wow. Blowing them out.
This
Double
man- this-
digits?
Double digits, USIP drops 25 to 30 points.
Wow.
If not, 1v1 guy drops 25 to 30 points. One of them will have a phenomenal game.
You think this is a game 1v1 could probably come up? Because he's...
X over 3.5.
It's going to be interesting. I think this one comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
I think because of La Familia's press, they just come out running that press. If Yusuf's unselfish and Luke knows how to break a press, Luke, if you're watching this, look up how to beat a full court press. It's not very
Screens.
difficult.
Screens.
Very
Screens.
easy.
You have QDZ and Shot Doc. You have enough smart people on your team to figure out how to beat a full court press. Beat the full court press, and then from that point, you'll be able to be successful. But when they bring that press, if they don't have an answer for it, La Familia is going to take the game. I agree with Pat. I think that because of QDZ, I think he's going to have a huge game because La Familia does not have anybody in the paint, and Quentin is one of the only true big men in this league.
Yeah.
So I think he has a double-double, and I think the Makos can pull this one off.
I'm going the opposite. I got La Familia. I think
Wow.
La Familia definitely giving Makos their first L.
I think it's-
After a game that Mike Parker, Santi, and Braylon averaging 71 of their 80-something points. Yeah.
I
It's
think
too much on firepower.
I think player of the week is going to go to Braylon. I think he has a lights out game.
Yeah.
I have him over 30 points this
Me
game.
too, yeah. I'll be 30.
Forgot
I-
Braylon's a with La Familia.
Yeah.
I think
That's a big piece.
Yeah, you can forget the MVP, bro.
I think Braylon goes off this game.
Yeah.
This is Braylon's game. It's going against a 2-0 team. This is where he shines. This is why he's the number 1 pick, and he's going to show that. And I think he gets 30 plus points.
I hope so. I love Braylon. I love La Familia.
I want a
So-
100-point game from La Familia.
They're the team this year that can definitely do that
Yeah.
with the pace that they play at and the scoring that they have with Braylon and
defense they
Sante
play, too.
particularly. Exactly.
They cause a lot
Yeah,
of turnovers.
they definitely could have a 100-point game, and they definitely could win any game. I think that if the 2 caveats that I have, and I'll stand by those, if Mako can beat the press, and if they get Quentin involved, I don't know if La Familia is an answer for QDZ in the paint. I think Brisky's a good defender. If he'd stop, you're not Jose Alvarado, Brisky. Stop doing that.
Oh.
Stop being Jose Alvarado. Stop trying to hide behind whoever.
But it works, though. It's like, bro.
Sometimes Devon got a wide open 3 because he wasn't there defensively. Just lock in on defense. Lock in 1v1. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited for that one. Game of the week.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I think that brings us to the end of our podcast, episode 3. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday,
a
for
long
episode
one.
4. It was a long one. Yeah,
Thank you.
It was a good one.
Thank you for tuning in. Sorry
Yes.
for my rant, but you know what?
I'm sorry I was late. Fortunately, had to go see X at work and have dinner.
He's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're okay.
We don't
We're feeding him
alcoholics
drinks.
over here.
I pace myself. I'm still.
We got cookies out there for you.
I'm
Don't
very
worry.
hungover from last night.
Yeah, you are.
But
If you guys enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell, because next week we do this every Wednesday, and we go live maybe 8:30, maybe 8:45.
it's gonna be
maybe
8:45. But I'm
9:15.
gonna say 8:30. I'm gonna say 8:30, but it's gonna be 8:45.
Or maybe 9:15 if Pat's joining us.
No chance. It's 8. We started at 8:45.
I was here at 8:20.
Yeah, Kyle King was here before I even finished dinner. So
Kyle left me at home.
But appreciate you guys stopping by, keeping us company. We'll catch you guys next week.